welcome to another episode of The Devil's Due. Court is now in session. I am your host, Carl Duty. With me, as always, is the man who you would not like when he's angry, but then again, that's a secret. He's always angry. Mr. Drew Celestino.
Very true.
Hey,
so
Drew.
accurate. Hi.
How you doing, buddy?
Truer words were never spoken.
Oh, folks, we got a great show for you this week.
Do we though?
We never let be said that we are not willing to suffer for our listeners, because we did a little bit of suffering this week. It was fun.
Fun suffering.
But it was still a little bit of suffering. How you doing, sir? How was your week?
Good, I guess. Stressful.
Cool.
A lot going on. I'm vague and cryptic every week. I'm going to continue that streak here.
Yeah.
But no, it was otherwise pretty good. I think it was it Monday? I'm not sure if it was Monday. Was it Sunday? I don't remember what day it was, but between our last episode and now, my good buddies in Metallica decided to drop another song from their upcoming record on us.
I like the song better than the first one. Not to say that I didn't like the first one. I just like the song better.
Yeah. And that's a pretty common comment. I'm stunned.
Yeah. Now, the album's coming out in November,
November.
Right? Early November? Mid-November?
Mid,
Late-November?
yeah. That's typical for them. Mid-November. They have a history of mid-November releases. Which is weird. But anyway, yeah. Exciting. Oh, the blessings and whatnot. So that's that obviously gets me going. So, you know,
cool.
I was on like 6 listens in the first, hour of release. So,
yeah.
It's been like that. Then they were on Jimmy Fallon, even though Jimmy Fallon's a complete tool bag, but Metallica. So, good. It's good.
Nice.
That aside, week is week.
Week is week in W-E-A-K or W-E-E-K?
Wow. Both. Week was week.
All right.
W-E-E-K was W-E-A-K.
Okay.
See what happened there? That was the highlight of my week, to be honest with you.
All right. Well, not as I often tell you when we discuss current runs of some of our favorite comic books, not everything's going to be a groundbreaking run.
No,
So
no.
not every week's going to be super eventful.
A lot of ho-hum action right now.
Cool.
We're kind of between arcs right now. We're padding for the trade.
We're doing filler stuff. Nice.
What's going on with you?
Nothing too much this week as well with myself. Kind of picked up Street Fighter again this week because a new character came out and
Did they charge you for that?
I bought the season pass.
Oh, okay. So you're okay.
Yeah, I'm a Street Fighter whore.
Gotcha.
If it comes out and says Street Fighter, I pay for it.
And they know that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they made the big announcement before the game came out that you'll be able to get all the downloadable content for essentially free, because as you play the game, online, whether it's ranked or unranked, you accumulate fight money, in-game currency. And they're you're going to be able to buy the downloadable characters with fight money. You're going to be able to do all this stuff. And then, they were saying that for a while, and then they dropped the prices of what that stuff would be. Now, for winning a match online, you get $50 in fight money. A new character costs $100,000 in fight money.
Oh my God!
So you have to
win a lot.
Check me if my math is wrong, but you have to win 2,000 matches.
Yeah. That's a lot of matches.
I don't have that kind of time.
No.
But I want to play the new character, so I just got the season pass.
Okay. Question about the season pass.
Yeah.
Number 1, cost?
$30. So not as bad as a previous season pass that was purchased for me as a birthday present.
Okay, what was the core game cost?
Core game cost was $60.
So it's $90 invested.
Oh, yeah. Listen, when it comes to Street Fighter, I shudder to think what I spent on Street Fighter 4.
Okay.
With all the versions that came out, the new, alternate costumes they came out with. And so, yeah. But, there's a new character who came out which completed Season 1, and they added a bunch of new features in it. So right now, the game is what it probably should have been at launch.
Question?
Sure.
Your Season Pass?
Yes.
Did you just say Season 1?
Yes.
Does your Season Pass cover all seasons?
No.
Oh.
No. See, they're kind of what Capcom kind of did.
This, my friends, is a scam.
Yeah.
This is a scam.
Yeah, and I buy into it hook, line, and sinker because it's
God.
Street Fighter, and I'm cheap when it comes to Street Fighter.
Wow.
No, what Capcom tried to do with Street Fighter V is they saw what Rare did with Killer Instinct. They said, "Oh, people will do that, so we can do that." But the problem is, when Killer Instinct came out, the core game was $20.
Yeah, that seems more reasonable.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Capcom screwed up on Street Fighter V.
Capcom screwing up. Fancy that.
Yeah.
The company that doesn't realize that they could still make Mega Man games and make money.
Pretty much.
Checking. The state of Japanese gaming is pretty crappy right now.
Yeah. Remember,
like, thank God Breath of the Wild is coming out, because otherwise, what the hell is going on? Like,
well, we're gonna have, at some point. When is Nintendo planning on revealing NX?
When they
You're
are
probably
good and ready.
The best person to ask about that.
No one knows. I would guess October, if not November, because they're targeting launch in March.
Holiday or
no, not holiday.
March.
I'd be shocked if they said holiday. I would be shocked.
So for William's first birthday, which is March 17th, I can get him an NX. Possibly?
Yeah, possibly.
Because that's what a good father does
for a 1-year-old.
That's what a good father does.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yes, you have my support, as April O'Neil would say.
Okay.
Yeah. Ninja Turtles 1.
I don't think I'm going to be able to get that one past Julie. Which
sure you can.
Yeah. So, another fun thing from this week. Sometimes my mind in particular, works in mysterious ways. Like coming up tomorrow. As we had him on the show previously, we had Brian on the show to promote the Rumble and Tundra tournament.
Yeah.
That starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was signed up to help out with that, defend my Windjammers title.
Yeah.
Left side of the brain apparently didn't communicate with the right side of the brain, because even though I had not, quote-unquote, forgot that Saturday is my 5-year wedding anniversary,
aha,
I just didn't put 2 and 2 together. So I won't be attending Rumble because I love my wife. I love my wife very much, and we're going to spend the day together.
There you go.
Some of it with the boys, some of it without.
We have the same anniversary.
We do.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
I have much less fun plans. So
yeah, you mentioned you were moving your friends.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Not going to lie.
I'm a good friend like that,
sucks.
though.
You are a good friend, but that still sucks.
Well, hey, man. That's what friends are for and stuff.
In good times and bad times.
I didn't marry them. I married my wife.
They'll be on your side forevermore.
I hope.
Dear listeners, if you would like to let us know of your wedding anniversary plans or tell us how your weeks were, you can reach us at the following locations in the multimedia world spectrum. You can follow us on Twitter at Devils Do Pod. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/devilsdopod. You can email us at thedevilsdopod@gmail.com. And as we mentioned, closing out the show last week, and I post on our Facebook page this week, we have a website up and running thanks to the diligent work of Drew. Our website is thedevilsdopodcast.com. You can contact us through all those mediums. They all route through the website as well. And we're very happy to have that website up to give you like a one-stop shop for contacting us. And as always, we do have viewer questions.
First question, why aren't you guys talking about Luke Cage this week?
Yeah, happy Luke Cage Day, everybody.
Yeah. Let's
Today's Friday,
here.
September 30th. Well, I was going to do it in the news, but, since you had to, jump the gun.
Sorry.
Well, happy Luke Cage Day to you and to our guest who will be coming on momentarily.
Spoilers, man.
Looks like we just got a question in.
Wow.
Okay, so since Jay has kind of earned
top billing,
we'll save him for last.
Main event, if you will.
Yes. Another question from our good friend Mr. Manny Marin in Staten Island.
Okay,
Manny, who's a supporter of your Stalloning.
Yeah,
not so much. Carl and Drew, loving the show. It helps the 90-minute commute go smoothly. See, you worry about the length of our show, and I'm saying we're in a good place.
Okay.
While scanning Facebook, I saw an article on how the DCU might be reviving Superman for the upcoming Justice League movie. It sparked a question. Since we all know in comics dead is never really dead, what resurrection stories have you loved, and what resurrection stories have have the writers just gotten horribly wrong? P.S. Does Drew think Rambo can beat up Batman?
Let's get that one out of the way first. I don't know if he could beat up Batman, but he could shoot the hell out of him with a giant machine gun.
Yes, with many, many bullets.
Yes. It would be bad.
Yeah.
Very, very bad. And also bow and arrow with explosive tips. I've seen that as well. Rambo is good with that.
Yes.
Regarding best and worst revivals,
That's a good question.
I would go. I'd venture to say most are pretty hokey in general. But in terms of best, it's I think due to the stakes of it and the fact that it was unprecedented and it was one of Marvel's untouchables, so we thought. Yeah. I think the Winter Soldier's revival, Bucky Barnes, was probably the best because, again, no one ever thought it could be done.
For years, it was, the people who are dead in the Marvel Universe and stay dead are Bucky and Gwen Stacy.
That's correct, and that's down to one now.
Yeah.
So, and Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben.
And I would still argue, is Gwen kind of... You know what?
Let's not even go there.
I don't want to discuss Let's not even go there. So I'll say Bucky was like one of the perma-deads forever.
Yeah.
Until he wasn't, because Ed Brubaker brought him back. And when I first heard of it, before reading it, I thought, a lot of you, this is a really bad idea.
Yeah.
This is stupid. This is going to be dumb. Oh, no. Well, shows what I know. It was done.
Yeah.
It was done very, very, very well. And I don't know that anybody outside of Ed Brubaker could have made it happen.
Yeah.
The man is great.
As far as comic book resurrections go, I've always kind of liked... I mean, I can't make a strong argument for being a quote-unquote good or well-written story, but I always kind of liked how they brought Green Arrow back, Oliver Queen.
How did they do that?
Kevin Smith wrote it in Quiver, his initial Green Arrow run, which is a good run. It's well done. But when Hal Jordan was Parallax... So Green Arrow originally died, from what I understand, in an airplane explosion. But Superman was there too, just didn't get there in time. But apparently, and again, this is where we're kind of getting into the hokey part, for lack of better terminology, minuscule bits and pieces of Oliver landed on Superman. So, yeah,
like blood and guts landed on Superman.
Yeah, on a very small level, and apparently that didn't wash off because when Hal Jordan was Parallax, he was able to get a hold of some of that and reconstitute Oliver.
Not sure if best or worst, but
it's a very comic book resurrection.
Absolutely,
but it's one of those like his last act is when he became like this despicable villain was to resurrect his best friend.
Okay. That's like poetry. It rhymes.
Yeah. As far as worst resurrections, oh God, there's so many to choose from.
That's why I kind of said they're generally all pretty bad.
Yeah, they are all really pretty bad.
Strong contender for the Punisher being revived as an angel with guns and a trench coat and all of that business. The less said, the better.
I am going to one up you in the Punisher resurrection. I'm going Frankencastle.
Yeah, see, I skipped all that because I saw that Rick Remender was writing it, and I knew that I should skip it. Because me and Rick Remender are not chummy.
Yeah. Manny, thank you very much for your questions. We appreciate it. Now, on to Mr. J. Gelsomino. And there's even a question for our guest.
Man!
Yeah. I mean, it's not an exciting question, so I don't want you to get all excited.
Well,
actually, before we do Jay's question, I'm gonna kind of throw out the plan. I'm gonna bring our guest on.
Don't bury the lead, man.
We're gonna bring on Mr. Alan Waiters, who you have known, dear listener, from previous questions sent to the show. With the special show we were doing today, we were just like, you know what, we got to get Alan in on this. So, Alan, welcome to the Devil's Due.
Hey, everybody.
Alan's here.
Yeah, Alan. In person.
Yeah, me.
Yes.
Yeah, me.
Yes, it's on record.
Alan.
It is on record.
Okay. So I will ask, I don't care how we went last time, I'll ask your questions
Very
first.
good.
Actually, no, you know what? We have a guest here. I'll be polite. I'll ask the guest question.
Okay.
First. Jay Gelsomino's question to Alan is, Alan, how's your day going?
My day's going pretty well.
All right, great answer. That was his question. Drew, first question.
Jay asked the tough questions.
can it rain all the time?
I have it on good authority that I trust implicitly that no, it can't rain all the time.
Alrighty, good answer. Question number 2. Using the 10-point must scoring system in a 15-round fight in their prime at the Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino,
Oh my God.
who comes out victorious? Butch Coolidge or Tommy the Machine Gun?
Oh, Butch Coolidge, absolutely.
What's that from again?
Butch killed a guy. I mean,
What? Oh, okay, yeah.
Rocky
All right.
V, sir.
No, I knew where Tommy Gun was from. I
Okay.
didn't put Butch. It's the last name that threw me.
Put Pulp Fiction, my
Pulp
friend.
Fiction.
He
Okay.
killed Floyd
All right.
in the ring.
I'm actually going to let our guest ask me my
Oh,
questions, if it's okay with
I'll
you,
I'll just sit over
I'll
here.
probably do it.
because his dulcet tones.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, we already got technical difficulties.
Okay, so Carl,
Yes.
if you could stroke the face of one of these people, who would it be? Danny Trejo, also known as Machete.
Machete. Say
Machete.
it right.
Machete. Willem Dafoe, Keith Richards, or Rocky Dennis.
Danny Trejo. I don't even have to think about it. It's Danny Trejo.
Why?
Like Rocky Dennis, though.
I was going to say
Danny
because Rocky
Trejo.
Dennis, too,
You're getting some bang for your buck with that feel.
I'm just saying.
Also, the second part of the question.
Oh God.
Sexier 80s wrestling manager, Bobby Heenan, Mr. Fuji, rest in peace, or Jimmy Hart.
See, it's tough.
I like that this is for Carl and not me.
I know. It was specifically for Carl.
It's tough because Fuji and Heenan, they dressed a lot alike. Color palette. You know what?
Bobby had some awesome sequence jumpsuits, my friend.
Yeah.
He did, but Jimmy Hart
Those jackets.
and
Those
the
jackets were-
megaphone.
they were pretty loud.
Yeah, I gotta go with Jimmy Hart. I gotta go with Jimmy Hart.
You might be the first person in history to consider Jimmy Hart sexy, by the way. So, you know. Somewhere the mouth of the South's ears are ringing.
His palms are itching.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Thank you, Jay.
Was that for Jay's questions?
That was
Yes, it
Jay's
Thank you very much,
Thanks, Jay.
Jay.
You realize we get Jay on the show, it's going to be like an event,
Oh.
like a happening.
Oh, jeez. We will have Jay on the show someday, soon enough.
He's going to have to read his own questions
Yes.
on the air.
Oh.
Oh, that would be good.
Inception.
Jayception.
Okay, so we got a little bit of news to go into. So we're going to open up the case files. As we mentioned earlier, it is Friday, September 30th as of this recording, which means Luke Cage is now available to stream on Netflix.
We haven't watched it yet.
We have not watched it yet.
We had other things to watch.
Yes, we did, as we will discuss coming up very
I would have
shortly.
rather have watched Luke Cage, I think.
Yeah, we could,
It's okay. It's okay.
we could play a game in the living room and just set up.
Ah.
Yeah. But, yeah, Luke Cage getting a lot of hype. I've heard nothing but good reviews, which, let's be honest, at this point is kind of expected.
It's Marvel, baby.
Yeah, Marvel, Netflix. We're very excited. Alan, you said you watched a little bit of it.
I watched a
prior
little
to
bit of the
coming.
first episode before I got here, and I gotta say, it is really, really, really good.
Really solid.
It's very solid. You know, it had a very good vibe. You know, the Harlem scene and everything.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch the rest of it.
I got a message from my friend Chris Taylor, and all it said was episode 4. That's all it said.
All right.
So I guess we should watch out for that, apparently.
They're kind of ducking their normal convention of making episode 2 the like.
Yeah, right. Was there a big stinger moment in Jessica Jones? I don't remember.
I think the first time when they had the Purple Man, when they actually showed him, and then he, you know,
Was that in the second or third? I don't. I don't.
Yeah,
remember.
he didn't like show up in person till
No, I think when he first showed up in person, I think that's when it was like a big thing, and you start seeing
That was their big moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was their hallway fight.
We're like, oh.
showing off David Tennant.
Hey, he was freaking fantastic.
Oh, he was great.
great.
I would
He was
I
good.
would argue he has been the best live action Marvel villain, film and television.
Loki, my friend. Loki.
No, because you know what? Loki's great and all. Don't get me wrong, love Loki. But Tennant's Purple Man was just scary.
Yeah, He's scary, but he wasn't Loki. Tom Hiddleston, man.
Nah, I'm going with Kilgrave. Sorry. Hey,
I
listen.
gotta agree. I have to go with Kilgrave myself because he was.
Yeah, Alan.
I mean, just all the stuff that he made people do.
Always messed up for sure. But
Yeah,
Loki.
like, Loki wants to take over and rule Asgard.
Yeah,
and take
which,
over
by
and
the
rule
way,
the world.
he did. Spoilers for Dark World, by the way.
Like, Loki is Kilgrave is just about Jessica.
Yeah.
Like, he's just, like,
He's fixated.
yeah.
But you could say that Loki's fixated on Asgard. He's got bigger aspirations.
Yeah, it's bigger. It doesn't necessarily make it better.
Would you rather have Kristen Ritter or all of Asgard? I'm taking Asgard. No
refuse-
disrespect to Kristen
I
Ritter.
refuse to answer that question on the grounds that my wife might kill me.
Fair enough, man. But
I would take Kristen Ritter. Just saying.
All right, and the next piece of news we have, Alan, you and I can discuss this. Drew is probably just going to remain silent because he hates everything DC. Not everything.
Not everything.
95% of DC. he
right.
hates.
I like
All
the
right.
good 5%.
So, which is surprising that you don't like what we're about to talk about because this is DC live action at not only its best, which is a very low bar to hurdle, it's on par with, I think, the quality of these CW productions as far as like what they're doing story-wise and weaving all these films together is, if it's not on par, it's rapidly approaching on par with what Marvel's doing in theaters. They released today pictures upcoming in the probably what I would probably say, and let me know if you agree with this, Alan, of the shows, the weakest of the show, which is Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh yeah, without doubt.
Yeah, but it's still good.
It's still good.
It's
but
still like
it's
a lot of
nowhere.
fun.
It's nowhere
Yeah, it's
on the
not
level
a-
of Flash or
it's not like Flash, Supergirl, or Arrow. They're doing the Justice Society of America, and they released pictures today. We saw Our Man, Stargirl, Dr. Midnight, and Vixen,
Oh wow.
and they look off the page.
Yeah, I saw some images of Vixen, and she's pretty spot on. So I'm
Yeah, like they improved on the outfit. They made the outfit a little more believable for a combat situation. Dr. Midnight looks fantastic. He's got like the hood and the crescent moon, the cape and everything. Our Man looks great. Stargirl is she's Stargirl.
Yeah.
She's exactly what she should look like. She's got the staff. And you know what? These aren't characters that I've normally gone out of my way to read or anything, but they're characters I'm aware of, and it's just showing again that the Berlanti verse, as it's called, is not pulling any punches, and they will do anything. Did you see the previews of Supergirl?
yes,
The
season.
scenes with Superman they showed?
Yeah,
It looks great. It looks great. You know, is he the most, best looking? Yeah, Drew, I know you made a point that he's a little scrubby looking.
He looks unshaven. He looks disheveled.
he's no Dean Cain.
No, who could be?
Well,
who better than Dean Cain?
Dean Cain is in that show too.
He is.
He plays Dean Cain, and Helen Slater
Okay,
plays Supergirl's adopted parents.
all right. That's
So
fair.
you've got Superman and original OG Supergirl playing Supergirl's adopted parents.
Terry Hatcher around.
Not yet.
No.
That's kind of a shame.
She will be.
Can we get some work for her? Come
And
on.
of course, the picture released earlier this week, I sent it to Drew, and even Drew appreciated this picture. Barry Allen standing next to
Oh
Jay
God,
Garrick.
yes.
John Wesley Shipp, man.
Yes.
My Flash.
Oh man,
He is so great.
I saw that picture. I was like, I said to Drew, I'm like, how can you not?
It's pretty cool. And I remarked back, the only thing that would make it better is if the Flash's costume was the same color as Jay Garrick's red coat.
Yes, Jay Garrick.
Yeah.
Brighten it up
Jay
a little.
Garrick's
and
red
I'm
has the
all in.
proper red, and yeah, that goes back to what we discussed last week. All superhero costumes across Marvel and DC could bear to be toned up a shade.
It still
or
looks
two.
good. I mean,
No, the costume looks good.
But
I
for,
like it.
but for what it is,
yeah.
yeah, it's pretty sweet. That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. 'Cause-
that's the kind of inspired casting I like.
Because if you
That's
see
good
the end
stuff.
of season 2 of Flash and then you saw that moment, I
Oh
was
my
like,
god,
holy crap.
I'm not gonna lie to you, and this is not gonna come as a surprise. I've said I'm an easy cry. I was rolling tears when he showed up in the suit.
And I
and
said
I
it
was
was
just like-
just right. It was fitting.
All right. So, is there any incarnation that they could possibly do in the Batman mythos cinematic. I have no idea how, where they could have Adam West or Michael Keaton play an old grizzled Bruce Wayne. Is that possible in any way with what they've established? Probably not.
If you were going to do a Dark Knight Returns proper film, you could probably pull off Michael Keaton
Ooh, I'd like that.
as Batman. Adam West,
Yeah, he's way too old now.
yeah, he's getting up there in years. I think Adam West is getting the tribute he's due with the animated movie.
Fair
that
enough.
coming
Fair
out,
enough.
which I'm very
He was the
excited
Grey Ghost,
for.
damn it.
He was a great
Oh,
ghost.
God, the Grey Ghost.
Wasn't that a great episode?
That's in
that
my
was one
top
of my favorite
five.
all time.
That's
That
in
is
my
a-
top five.
That's a great episode.
My top five is Almost Got Him, Heart of Ice, The Grey Ghost, no.
Ooh, gotcha. Stumped.
Yeah, I can't. Oh God, I can't remember. Most, I think. Yeah,
That's a strong top three.
yeah. That's
Fair enough. Grey Ghost is up there.
Yeah, that was such a great episode.
It was. That was inspired.
So yeah, that's about all I got for news.
Did anything happen in the Marvel world this week? Not really.
We got a television commercial for Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
which
Oh,
kinda-
yeah.
Which kind of name dropped Avengers.
Yeah, some good stuff is happening there. He's got like a whip, fire whip.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it gave us a little moment of humor. You know, Mister Doctor Mister.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah. Who am I to judge?
Who am I to judge?
That's pretty.
Oh, Agents of Shield.
Yeah.
I think.
I watched the first 2 episodes.
Okay, is it just me, or are they going to kind of tie that into Doctor Strange? It looks
Yes, yes, because when Ghost Rider was introduced, and he said, "I made a pact with the devil."
like. Yeah,
So I was wrong. Mephisto is showing up on
Yes.
Agents of Shield.
possibly.
Huh.
But no, like they're going like full on paranormal activity with this season.
Sure.
And
Why not?
there are these ghosts going around, and they can infect you. And when they infect you, the way you see other people is like kind of those caved in eyes that you see on the villain
In Doctor Strange.
Strange.
Oh.
They always tie in. They always tie into the movies.
It was pretty. I gotta say, the first 2.
I'm sure the
episodes
movies
were
are flattered, if they care at all.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend picking up Agents of Shield.
I watched the first 2 seasons. I kind of gave up after that, so maybe I could give it a shot again.
I'd
We'll see.
recommend picking up again.
And Ghost Rider's not that bad, you know.
No, he looks really cool.
You know,
they
he's Cholo
nailed the
Rider.
visual.
I'm okay with Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. I read the series; it was good. I liked it. So
The Agents of Shield is getting me interested in that Ghost Rider. I may have to go pick up those trades.
it's solid. Johnny Blaze does show up, so there's something there for everybody.
Blaze.
It's all good. Dan Ketch, no, not so
Yeah.
much. He fell off the face of the earth, which is odd.
No, he showed up in like Ghost Rider got a bunch of limited series. About 5, a little more, about 8 to 10 years ago.
So it's been a while.
It has indeed been
Yeah.
a while since we had Dan Ketch. But they were like both Ghost Rider at the same time.
Okay.
It expanded on the mythology a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. That brings our news to a close. Now, ladies and gentlemen, normally this is where we rustle the papers, but as you know, last week we completed.
Excuse me?
Okay, you made up the mind really quickly. At first, we were like, we're just gonna watch this, have fun. The 10 minutes in, Drew's like, give me a notebook. I need a notebook. I need some paper.
This needs to be documented.
Yes. So we have completed the first season of Daredevil. As you guys all heard last week, we did our season finale. So as we do not have any new Daredevil outside of Defenders up until 2018, we're gonna hold off on jumping into Daredevil season 2.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. We're going to do some fun one-off episodes for a couple weeks, and then we're going to go right into Luke Cage. We're going to let you guys watch Luke Cage for yourselves, digest it for yourselves, and then we're going to do our breakdown. But as far as those fun one-off episodes I just mentioned, this is indeed one of them. We've joked about this for many weeks now, and we finally sat down and did it. We all just watched, right before we started to record this, The Trial of the Incredible Hulk. Starring Bill Bixby,
And a monkey.
Jonathan
Oh,
Rhys
no.
Davies, and a whole bunch of other people.
Rex
we
Manning.
Don't
Rex
ever remember.
It's Rex Manning Day. You know that?
It is Rex Manning Day. And who does Rex Manning play, Drew?
Rex.
Because people are probably wondering, why are you doing Trial of the Incredible
Well,
Hulk?
he tried.
Daredevil
Rex
show?
Manning tried to play with Renee Zellweger, but she got ashamed after she realized what a scumbag he was, and she ran away.
Yeah.
But
or what a scumbag she was.
it's a little of both.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at the end, though, she sings on the balcony with the band. And
Yeah.
and it's pretty awesome.
Realizes her dreams.
Yeah. Empire Records, kids, look it up. It's a great movie.
But Drew, why did we watch a made-for-TV movie, Trial of the Incredible Hulk?
Because it features a made-for-TV version of Daredevil.
It is the first live-action appearance of Daredevil.
What they call Daredevil. If I can just draw a line for a moment.
Okay,
This was made for TV, what year? 1989?
I believe so, yes.
Versus what we now have on Netflix, which is made for TV in 2016.
Yep.
Oh, what a difference we have here.
Although, when you think about it,
Oh, boy.
back in the day, like late 70s and most of the 80s, Marvel was pretty active on television. Incredible Hulk, Amazing Spider-Man,
That's the 70s.
Captain America.
70s.
There was a Doctor Strange movie,
70s.
television.
80s.
movie.
80s were a dark time.
Well, we still had Incredible Hulk.
In the made for TV, resting on our laurels nostalgia form. Yes. Yes.
And we had Thor in one of those Hulk movies as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of.
So, the start, if you will, of what may eventually become... No, I can't even say that. It's not.
No.
It's so far.
No.
Yeah, those were...
humble beginnings, I should say.
Very humble. So yeah, how do you want to begin to discuss this
What do you
whole
think,
thing?
Alan? Where...
I think it's a lot of nostalgia because I was thinking of it as a kid. Like, oh my god, there's Marvel superheroes, and now
Yeah.
looking back as an adult, you're like, what is this?
Yeah, like if you showed a kid today
Right.
this, they would be pissed.
I think even as a kid, I knew that the Incredible Hulk 70s movie and show was bad,
Yeah.
but it had the song,
It did
and
have
the song went a long way.
the Lonely Man piano song, which was a very sad song because
sad.
when you heard that song, it meant it was time for bed.
Yeah, sure.
So, Alan,
Yes.
you being a longtime listener to the show, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much. Where does Daredevil operate? Where's his playground, if you will?
They didn't say. They just kept saying.
No, I'm asking like proper Daredevil
Oh.
proper
It's supposed to be New York City.
New York City. In like what part of New York City?
Oh, Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen. Okay. Now, typically in this era where this movie was made in comics, the Incredible Hulk kind of operated. We discussed this earlier. Where?
He's usually floating between New Mexico, parts of
Alright.
Texas.
Alrighty.
He's a wanderer.
Drew,
Yes.
where does this movie take place?
By my estimation, I'm approximating now, but I'm pretty sure it's like somewhere in Manitoba, Canada. It could be Moose Jaw. It could be near Winnipeg, but it's not actually Winnipeg. But it's definitely not New York City, though I'm not positive, but they try to play it up like it is.
Did they though?
I don't
Did they
know.
Really?
Well, let's say this. They remark when David Banner, by the way,
Well,
because
that's his full name. That's
in the show,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, in the comics, that's
no,
his
his full name in the comics was Bruce Banner.
his full name in the comics is David Bruce Banner.
Retroactively, because they changed it in the show because the television show producers thought that Bruce Banner sounded too gay.
I'm just
The
saying.
70s, everybody. My God. Meanwhile, Bruce Wayne, Batman.
So
Anyway, so he's digging ditches in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of somewhere in British Columbia or whatever, maybe in Newfoundland. We're not sure. And then Dutch Mantel starts a fight with him. It was Dutch Mantel. Let's just be honest. But he tries not to be angry because the eyes turn white and he turns into Hulk and all that. And then he decides he's going to the city. The city, mind you, is, I swear to God, if it's any bigger than like 10 blocks, I'm exaggerating.
It reminded me of the city from Roadhouse.
It's like 3 buildings.
With a skyscraper.
Yep.
Yeah, a skyscraper.
skyscraper.
And by skyscraper, we're talking, what, 20, 30 floors?
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
You could see mountains in the background.
There were mountains. It's like, oh, look at Manhattan, and look at the Manhattan mountain range. Those old snow-capped mountains in Jersey. Like, oh, my God. I don't, like, okay, they didn't say it was New York, but the city, there were several subway scenes. Like, they were trying to give you that impression. You know what I'm saying? Except, you know, no. I've been to New York. This was not New York.
Though I have to say that subway in this movie had to be the cleanest subway I've ever seen in my life. I've been in New York many times, and no, there was
You don't
no.
want to go barefoot in that.
Exactly. There's no in this scene that we watch. The subway was crystal clear. It was clean. There's no graffiti.
What? No.
There was graffiti.
There was one graffiti.
What did the graffiti say?
And it
Alan?
said Daredevil.
Daredevil rules.
With an S or a Z? Do you
It
remember?
was an S.
It was an S.
Before the Z craze took on.
Yeah.
But if you've been in New York City, you know those subways are very.
They're loud. They're dirty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There was no rats wandering. There was
No.
no pizza. There was no pizza rat.
Pizza Rat wasn't there.
Yeah.
The Ninja Turtles would not belong on these
No.
subways.
No.
Far too
no.
clean.
I often thought when they would show scenes of the city, I often flash back to the Tick animated series. The city. My city. It is I, the Tick, your destined defender. Show me where it hurts.
Have we watched the new Tick series yet, by the way?
I did.
You did or you didn't?
I did.
How is it?
Eh.
I saw some clips. It looked pretty good.
It
It got a full season order.
I saw that. I do want to give it another watch because I was kind of dozing off at different points.
Okay.
And that's not as a criticism on the show itself, just because at the time I watched it, I was very tired. So.
When I first saw the pictures, the stills, I thought, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Then I saw some clips and I said, oh, I see what they're doing. That's pretty
Like, how
good.
do you not get Patrick Warburton back for that?
Well,
Because even though that show wasn't all that great, he was perfect.
David Puddy can do anything, sir.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But
this
back to
this
our
city.
current torture.
Now, if I can also ask a question,
Go ahead.
David Banner.
Yes.
David Banner. He knows that he has the whole Hulk thing going on, right?
Yep.
He figures out, digging ditches in a remote location isn't working out so good. I'm alone, and I haven't had any incidents, but I can't be here anymore. I'm going to go to a populated area. What could go wrong? David, buddy. Maybe it's a bad call. I'm just saying, civilians, crime, I mean, relatively speaking, in this 10-block city. but,
It's essentially a glorified version of Our Town.
Buffalo
Once again,
is
not
bigger
Our
than this town.
The town we live in, Our Town, the play.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I mean, Buffalo would be a dramatic step up from wherever the hell they filmed this
Buffalo,
thing.
compared to this, is New York
Yeah,
City.
more or less. It's more accurate. So, yeah, bad call going to the city, Matt, or David, or whatever the hell you call yourself these days. And then there's this whole... So then he goes to the city. He gets a flop house apartment. Weird. Daredevil graffiti on the apartment building, by the way, as
Yes.
well. So Daredevil has some kind of... Either Daredevil's like some kind of hood rat himself, going like he's Alberto now or something. Or, as we found out later, he's got the street kids. They're like his gang.
Jack and bandana.
Jack and bandanas.
Yeah.
Bandana guys.
Leather jacket and bandana, baby.
Oh, the 80s.
So he gets the flop house, and then
That he rented from not Ron Jeremy.
So yeah. So you might ask everyone, where's the trial come in? Well, some weird
Spoilers, there actually is no trial.
It was all a dream.
It was legitimately a true 80s style all a dream.
80s? It was a Batman versus Superman style hallucination, my friend. The Flash should have showed up and explained things.
He didn't really explain anything in that scene.
That's my point. It would have made sense here, too. Anyway, the whole reason for him going to jail was really suspect.
Drew, I think that you're looking in the wrong places for reason and logic. Would you agree, Alan?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have a story and structure.
Let the guest speak.
Go on.
I mean, yes, there's a lot of flaws to it, but you gotta remember the time. This was the late 80s.
Yeah.
That excuse is going to run out some
Oh, I
point.
know. Yes, I know. That's a very terrible
And
issue.
spoilers, it's going to be some point real soon.
Yeah.
Basically, everything in this movie we can probably just quantify. Well, it was the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it was so 80s.
Oh, God, the big hair,
Oh.
suspenders.
The hair was so big. It had some gravitational pull.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Go on.
And another thing, Drew.
Yeah.
This question will be for you.
Okay.
Where
Yeah.
does Matt Murdock work? What is the name of his business?
I believe that's Nelson and Murdoch.
Nelson and Murdoch. Now, that would obviously assume that, it is a law office partnership between Matt Murdock, a.k.a. Daredevil,
Yeah.
and Foggy Nelson,
Yes.
a.k.a. Franklin Nelson.
That's correct. Legal name.
Drew, where does Daredevil work in this city with no name?
That would be Murdoch and Klein.
Murdoch and Klein.
Yeah.
Alan,
Yes.
was there a Foggy Nelson at Murdoch and Klein?
No, there was not.
What was at Murdoch and Klein, Alan?
There was a black guy that looked like Mayor Brown.
Mayor.
And folks,
Yeah.
before you raise an eyebrow, Alan himself is black.
Yes, I am.
You can blame him. Send Alan your emails.
Yes, you can.
I said nothing.
Oh, man.
So not Byron Brown works at this law office.
He's pretty close to him.
It is close.
Yeah.
It's frighteningly close. And then we have a blonde secretary, but it's not Karen Page.
No. She did not, I think.
Or was she a partner?
No,
I
she
think
was a partner. She was Klein.
She was Klein.
She was Klein.
Yes.
Who was the black guy then?
Not Byron Brown.
Yes. They were their legal secretary, I think he was.
He was the secretary.
Yes.
He was the Karen.
Man. Wow. Okay.
And fun little note, the actress who played
Not Karen Page.
not Karen Page.
Karen Klein?
This is not her only foray into live-action Marvel films. She was also in the Punisher movie, the Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie.
Oh, my God.
Starring alongside Dolph Lundgren and Louis Gossett Jr. Of what movie fame, Alan?
Oh, God.
Of what movie fame, Alan?
It's his one credit, Alan. Don't get it wrong.
Sorry.
Enemy Mine.
Enemy Mine.
Iron Eagle.
Also correct.
Never say die.
I should point out the Top Gun gong
There was
in this movie.
Yes.
It
was in the Trial of the
Yes,
Incredible Hulk.
legitimately.
I swore I was going to hear the guitar riff
Yep.
from Top Gun after that gong.
Yeah.
You know the one. Gong.
Yeah.
Do, 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 do. I was waiting for it. Didn't happen.
It was at this point
But
we
in
all
my heart,
realized
it
we
did.
have made a terrible, terrible mistake.
Well,
But we soldiered on. For you, dear listener.
so he works in the wrong law firm.
Yep.
He lives in the suburbs. He lives like in an apartment complex by the airport. He has a 10-minute commute to work
to the city.
on a freeway. Not the most advantageous location for your superhero fortress. Wayne Manor makes more sense. At least Batman drives a car.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Matt had Taxi.
Great. Great.
You can imagine his fare driving all the way from
Every day.
suburbia, every day,
Yeah.
all the way to the city.
The city.
In quotations.
And then when he puts the costume on later, and he has to go out of the roof of his suburban complex lest his neighbors see him.
It's like a condo.
Yeah. Like, where is he running to?
It's like a timeshare.
He's got a
Bruce,
job
do you
in the
have
city?
a moment to listen to me about timeshares?
Oh, my
I'm going
God.
to do your trial work for free, but all you got to do is sit through a 45-minute presentation about timeshares.
Matt's one of the shining stars.
Oh, God. Welcome to Puerto Rico. Oh, God.
Wow. Yeah, it's weird. That scene when he like gets all geared up. We'll talk about the gear.
Ugh.
But when he gets all geared up and he jumps off the roof and he's
Yep.
going to go into action, he
Nope.
probably had to like get a cab. Excuse me, sir. Don't mind my black leotard. Can you drive me to the city? It's a long ride. Oh boy. Okay, so that's happening. And not to be
At the gallons.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So we forgot how. So we were talking about how the sort of trial.
the
happened.
trial. Oh, God.
So in the beginning, there's these two, 80s thugs.
So
They
80s
walk
thugs. Yeah.
into the bank.
Not
start-
David Caruso,
Yeah.
not Ray Romano.
That's
they,
correct.
They start putting on gloves.
They wait till they get inside.
Yeah, they wait till they get inside to put the
Then,
gloves.
Everyone's already seen them. Mm-hmm. Then they put masks and gloves on.
Gotta go rob a bank.
Oh, and should we leave the Kingpin for later, or you want to talk about it now?
Well,
Especially during that scene.
this is where we get introduced to the king. Okay, the Kingpin. Let's talk about the Kingpin for a moment.
Played by for the time this movie was made. It was probably a good casting of him as the Kingpin. Jonathan Rhys Davies.
Yeah, Sala
to-
himself.
Sala from Indiana Jones series, or Gimli from Lord of the Rings, or also Sliders.
Sliders, man.
Yeah.
I read on IMDb he had actually offered to shave his beard, and
What about his head?
he didn't want to do his head, but they couldn't get a bald cap to work on him.
Nah.
So they just said
Well,
he is chewing scenery in this movie.
okay, he's chewing scenery, but that's not even the worst part of it. At least he was having some fun. The rest of us, on the other hand, okay, so, folks, what you have to understand about Kingpin in this movie is he's some kind of weird video producer fetishist.
Take Rufus from Back to the Future,
Yeah.
and mix him with Eddie Arcadian from Last
Yeah.
Dragon.
Yeah.
That's the Kingpin in this movie.
Kind of like that.
Yeah. Take Rufus from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, add about 60 pounds,
And then
then throw in Eddie Arcadian.
everything with him is like lights, camera, action puns.
Yep.
And like he's got this whole I have to videotape everything gimmick going on. So like these guys are robbing the bank and they set up these cameras all over so that Fisk can watch and instruct them on how to rob the bank. This seems like a really crappy way to rob a bank.
It was just terrible. He's going, you over there, go get Double D. And he's pulling out and there's diamonds. He goes, you.
To the drawer, yeah.
Yeah.
Row M.
Row M.
Now, like, you need cameras for that? Can't you just,
Tell the guys.
tell the guys in advance? From a list, maybe?
Oh, by the way, do this.
But that's wow. The glasses, man. My note was Kingpin is Rufus and Max Headroom in one.
What do
Yeah.
you mean, Drew?
He just looked that way. Oh God, it was so bad. The headphone scene. What the heck? He had the big
Jesus.
radio headphones on.
Yeah, those old 80s headphones that had the radio built right into the piece you wore on your ear.
It was just weird because of watching that. It was just like, he's supposed to be the kingpin of crime.
Yeah,
But he was more like Mojo from the X-Men.
kind of like that.
Right. He's just, he's watching these monitors and, this guy does this thing. And it's like, you're supposed to be the kingpin of crime. You're not supposed to be some media mogul.
Am I wrong? But did he rob his own building in the beginning?
That's what I was thinking.
It was
wasn't-
not clear.
I think it was his own building.
As many things in this film tended to be, unclear.
Okay.
As was that.
Well,
let's talk about it for a moment.
The robbery, and then those guys escape to the subway. Let's get to the trial. Let's cut to the meat of everything here. So they rob this place. There's a whole little bag exchange, which I didn't fully understand.
Which actually surprised us because we're like, wow, that's kind of if they create a diversion, then they do kind of a shell game with the stolen goods, and we're like, wow, that's surprisingly well thought out.
Then they get on the cleanest subway ever.
Sparkling.
With 4 people on it. And then the crazy one, the blonde one, naturally, there's always
not David Caruso.
Not David Caruso. He tries to, he scares an old man, and then he threatens to rape this girl. David Banner sits there like a total moron and doesn't help this poor woman, this poor defenseless woman. Way to be, Bill Bixby.
He understands what could happen if he lets...
Oh, I know what's going to happen if he doesn't. That poor girl. And then, finally, he grows a pair and gets thrown across the subway car.
He's thrown, bounced off the walls.
He hulks out. He breaks up the situation. The 2 goons escape, of course, because naturally. But in the process, a gun was drawn, and someone standing on the platform was inadvertently shot. There's 2 witnesses, maybe, to all of this happening. The Hulk runs down the subway track and then stealthily hides behind a wall. It was so clever. Hulk is
We're
ninja.
talking 6-year-old level hide and seek skills here, people.
So the cops, though, saw the Hulk, and they're chasing him. Right? They did see him.
Yep.
They chase him. When they get into the subway tunnels, they find shirtless, scrawny, sleeping in a corner Bill Bixby. Gentlemen, they arrest him, and they charge him with the murder or involvement in the murder of the poor schmuck on the subway platform who was shot, even though he had no gun on him. And this is the city, if I'm not mistaken. That could be any shirtless homeless guy in the city.
It's true. But also, another minor detail we notice when Bill Bixby or David Banner is hulking out.
Yes.
Before that, he has a full beard.
Full beard.
When he hulks out, beard is
beard.
gone.
No beard.
Magically gone.
I would like to have seen a bearded Hulk.
Yep. Kind of like what was the comic story they did where he was Maestro?
Maestro, the Future Imperfect.
Yeah. Hulk with a beard and that.
Hulk with a beard.
Yeah, I mean, he could have had a beard in this movie.
Could have, but didn't. Maybe they told Lou to grow a beard, but
he probably couldn't.
He didn't hear it.
Oh, yeah.
It's not his fault.
That's
anyway,
so mean.
Somewhere there's a Tim Book who listened to us and doing this Deaf Hulk impersonation.
My God. The whole premise is just terrible. Let's just put that.
Yeah.
It's very flimsy. Very flimsy. He goes to prison.
Legit
prison, and he's not even on trial yet, but he's in prison. Okay. I don't think that's how the legal system works, but sure. But
clearly, you've never been to the city, Drew.
No, I guess I
they
haven't.
got their own brand of law there.
I guess I haven't. Also, I should have remarked, and I don't know what came first, but the Hulk has the Toxic Avenger groans and grunts. They're all the same. He sounds like the Toxic Avenger. It's pretty great.
I'm guessing the Hulk came first.
Okay, fair enough. I could keep going, but you guys haven't spoken much.
Please do. There's a lot more to
I'm
cover.
so flat. As I remarked to Carl many times, I have so many questions.
Well, what questions are you struggling with the most?
All of it. I guess all of it. Kind of. Let's move on. So, yeah, go. Someone else, go, please. I'll chime in when necessary.
So also, during the prison scene, they have this elaborate, coordinated thing where the janitor's going by and then the inmates are passing a shiv.
It's like Shawshank Redemption level, getting contraband through here.
And he's just whistling and mopping, and then the guys, the prisoners are just passing the shiv from one cell to the other cell to the other cell, and they put it into his bucket. He doesn't even notice.
Yeah.
Or was he in on it?
Oh,
He's probably
was in on it.
But then Banner escapes the shivving by a conveniently timed appearance by the only honest cop in town. In the city.
One cop in town. And for J. Gelsomino, this cop was also played by one of the politician actors from the movie Jaws.
Look at that. Full circle.
Bringing it all together.
Okay. So, oh my God. We have Ninja Nurse.
Yes.
Yes.
So the poor woman, right? Fisk lets her live at first. No, hang on, correction. First he tries to kill her.
Yeah.
That poor woman.
First they're going to kill her. Daredevil, finger quotes, Daredevil shows up.
Big finger quotes.
Gets in a really crappy fight with Ninja Nurse. It stops her. This is not the, this is by no stretch of the imagination. Oh my God. Think about it. In this movie, we had a scene where Daredevil interrupts a woman, or a nurse, or someone in a hospital room trying to kill another person in the hospital room.
We had that on the Netflix show.
Isn't that weird?
I feel a little dirty.
It's a little weird. He stops her. They get into a scuffle, and he escapes.
This is the first time we see Daredevil in the show.
Yeah.
This is the first time we see Matt, and I use this term very loosely, in costume in the show.
Uh-huh.
Now, if you're old enough to remember the Incredible Hulk series, the television series, for what they had to work with at the time, the Hulk did not look bad.
Lou Ferrigno is a very beastly man.
Yes.
Or he was. No, he probably still
he's
is.
still
He's
jacked.
still-
'Cause he
Yeah.
was at Niagara Falls Comic Con a year ago.
$60 an autograph,
Yeah.
I'm sure. And you can ask him a question, but he won't answer.
You're so mean.
It's true.
So, Alan, how would you describe Daredevil's costume in this production?
I would say it probably cost him $10 tops. It just looked like they were just wearing black, nylon, and that was it. It was
Yeah. Pantyhose mask,
yeah, exactly. It was a pantyhose mask.
at best. And I think
to be fair,
I
Drew-
remarked. Did I not remark? Is he wearing suspenders?
You did.
He
Yes.
is. He's wearing a singlet over black tights.
To be fair, Drew,
Yeah.
the Netflix series could have taken some notes when they were constructing the Daredevil costume from this production of Daredevil.
Oh, go on. I'm all ears.
Because, as you commented last week,
Oh God.
the Daredevil proper costume does not fit that well in the neck,
Yes.
whereas this costume fit perfectly in the neck.
Did it though?
It thing was skin tight all over.
Doesn't mean it was good.
I didn't say it was good, just said fit perfectly.
Based on the shape of his head in silhouette numerous times, perfectly is a very odd choice of words.
Just saying.
It looked pretty bad.
Fit good in the neck. And we have Billy Club action.
Yes.
Action.
Yes.
I'm air
Finger
quoting.
quotes. Yeah.
We had the slowest fight choreography I've ever seen.
It was bad.
It was pretty bad, and also we missing a couple details too. Before and then in the hospital, before he changes into Daredevil, he shows up as Matt Murdock, and the woman
Oh yeah, she's changing her story. And
she
stuff.
changed her story.
Yeah.
Well, clearly Fisk got
Oh
to.
yeah.
Yeah.
She goes, no, David Banner. What do you say, David Banner? But he's, he tried to attack me in the subway. These two other guys tried to help me.
Yeah,
and
she's
then,
lying.
After that, she's getting attacked by a ninja nurse. Then she changes her story. She calls Matt Murdock up, and then she goes, yeah, those two guys really did try to kill me. I need you to come to the hospital, blah, blah, blah. And
The story is very flimsy here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was made for TV.
Oh,
Their goal was, hey, let's get the Hulk and Daredevil onto the screen together at the same time, throw some cheap action scenes at it, a flying boat.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Yes.
We'll get to the flying boat.
We will get to the flying boat where all of the money went, by the way.
Yes.
All of the money.
Actually, no, I'm not sure if that's where all the money probably went there, and I think they could only afford 3 Hulk transformations in the movie.
Well,
Because all the rest were done with cutaways.
right. I'm about to say they recycled the same footage over and over of
Yeah.
him. Ripping-
There were 2 unique ones,
right.
and then the rest were eyes turn white, cut camera, Hulk shows up in frame.
Which, even, you know what? Not for nothing. Even after all these years, that's still cool to see the whole eyes.
No,
turning
that's
white
that's
thing.
fine. I'm just
The whole
saying.
transformation. It just kind of like it brings you back to that time when you were a kid and much less, jaded and
You could see the money though disappearing as
all $5. All for you.
Yeah, the plot. So they cap the Kingpin and his media network moguls. They kidnap this poor woman, and they hold her captive for like a year.
Yeah, they're very fuzzy on the passage of time in this entire movie.
What's he keeping her around for?
I can't think of a reason either. It just like I don't know. They're just keeping her captive. She's just laying there looking like
In her lingerie.
In her lingerie.
Listen, I'm sure as much volume as her hair had, it probably formed a protective shell
Yeah.
around
Maybe.
her head. And maybe they tried to shoot her, but her hair protected her.
So she's been held captive like forever for reasons. Daredevil gets his butt kicked in that fight scene that was terrible. Like when he shows up and it's like the recreation of the recreation of the Last Dragon fight scene.
Yeah.
I wanted Sho'nuff to be there, but he wasn't. And like Daredevil gets his butt kicked by like 4 guys. It's in slow mo, and they say he's then laid up in bed, which seems to be a long time because everyone thinks Daredevil's dead. Like rumor goes around town. Then again, it doesn't take long for like rumor. It's like 5 people in the city, so but still, it's a clear passage of time.
Yeah. It's
And all the while, Bill Bixby's taking
like
care of him.
seasons change.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it's snowing.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Just better be glad that poor woman didn't die during that time.
Right?
Alan, can you give me a brief synopsis of Daredevil's origin and why he decided to become Daredevil? Just very like Cliff's Notes version.
So I didn't know if the way he became Daredevil, it looked like more like he was trained to be in the Olympics. He wanted to be an Olympic gymnast.
Yeah. Yeah. Daredevil, master of the parallel bars.
And he gets the idea of his name from
Oh God!
Alan's like, I didn't know I would have to remember all this tripe.
No, that movie is just
From the cop.
from the cop himself.
Remember, the cop is just like,
The honest cop.
In the flashback scene.
yes, the honest cop. is like,
Flashback scenes. Look at that.
flashbacks. Clearly, the Netflix show is just an adaptation of this.
Oh my god. Oh no.
But the Netflix show is way better. But there's also another thing that I noted too, that there was a scene in the alley. There was an alley scene that was
Yes.
very, very reminiscent of, Batman's parents dying.
Yeah, you had the classic
You had
like steam coming up out of
Yeah.
the manhole cover. And
I was like, well, somebody's parents are going to die over
like
here.
somebody left a spotlight on at the end of the alley for no reason. But that brings us to another important point. Turk.
Yeah,
Turk. Turk.
Alan, what was wrong with Turk?
he didn't look like Turk from what I remember. Just like some 80s henchman, I could say.
At best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had a serious melanin problem.
Oh yeah.
We've got some serious social issues we're dealing with nowadays with race relations in this country and whatnot, and obviously a lot of that is reflected in casting for film. Things like bring up protests, things like that. Turk in the comics is a black man. In the
I got a picture of Turk right here.
Yeah.
Back to back.
Yeah.
The show and the comic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in this one, he was the white. He looked like a sailboat captain from Boston.
Kind of like that. Yeah. Yeah.
He had the skull cap on and the pea coat, and it was just like, I don't know, maybe this is a harbor town or something. And Turk
they were on the water,
Yeah.
and it was mountainous. Those New York mountains.
You got Daredevil up on the roof plucking on a guitar, rocking mountain high.
On the roof of his condo.
Yeah.
But by the way, in his condo.
Yeah. Oh, the cell phone?
The bat phone?
The bat phone?
I was going to say the bat phone. His secret top bat phone that he could call directly to that good cop.
Oh, my
But apparently
God.
you couldn't respond to the cop.
Yeah, I never actually talked to him. We just left messages. Oh, man. All right. So, there's that scene where Hulk breaks out of prison,
Yeah.
right? And he goes back to that apartment for some reason, right? Am I
To the rundown apartment
yes,
they rented?
because that's
Or-
where Matt Murdock,
Yes.
Daredevil, finds him. Daredevil
Yes.
goes to the apartment in all this sneaky subterfuge. Okay? And we even get to see a little proto 80s Daredevil vision with the green screen. Looked like a video game,
Yep,
kind of.
The radar
RoboCop
sense.
vision.
Yeah, a little sort of RoboCop vision. He sneaks into David Banner's apartment to confront him and tell him that he's a friend. And then in a show of
and make a point to say Matt Murdock sent me.
yes, Matt Murdock sent me to find you. Trust me. Blah,
And
blah.
not 30 seconds later, what happened, Drew?
He takes his freaking mask off.
Damn FaceTime.
Why'd
There's a
you wear the
problem even
costume to
back
begin
then.
with if you were just going to do this?
Well, the cab that takes him to the city has to know who he is.
Then he wears it home. It's a long drive.
Oh, man.
He
You know
wore
what?
the costume home, and then he relays his origin in really terrible fashion.
You know what? Now that I think about it, we probably could have gotten the actor who played Daredevil on this episode.
I'm sure Rex Manning has something to do right now.
Someone Google the actor. What's he doing? If he's still working, good job, buddy. Oh God. Then he touches his face.
Oh, that was so creepy.
Oh no, he goes, let me take a portrait. He
Yo,
starts touching
God.
Yeah. Now, I understand that I guess this is the thing that blind people do to legitimately get an idea of what you look like. They kind
Yeah.
of glide their hands over your face, and if that's a thing, that's fine. I totally understand it. But just the way they filmed it,
We had some subtext here, sir.
it
Yeah.
was
Oh.
so creepy. I'm waiting for Matt to kind of put his thumb inside Bruce's mouth and move it around a little bit.
Well,
and-
then we had the scene later on when Daredevil's all beat up in bed and he's got his shirt off, and old Banner is watching over him, taking care of him. I remarked to you, I was like, I hope they pan over and he's
Pan
laying
over
next
to
to him
see him in the
shirtless.
bed. And it just kind of runs his fingers through his small island of 80s chest hair.
My God.
Well, I was thinking about it when he says, "Look, here goes. Let me just take a portrait." I was thinking right away of Lionel Richie. Hello. I was like, is he going to start singing "Hello"? Is it me you're looking for?
Oh, man.
I can see it in your eyes. Sure.
It was even creepier later on when, how Matt discovers, Bruce is the Hulk. When, Matt's touching the Hulk's face, and then I guess he just transforms right then and there. 'Cause
Yeah.
when they cut back, it's Bruce.
Well,
and,
Hulk
and
did.
Bruce seems to be, really getting into it. He's like, yeah, touch that face. Matt, touch it. I'll make you see, Matt.
Well, if you remember, hey, now wait a minute. So
make
he starts touching Hulk's face, and Hulk calms down, right, and reverts back to Banner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did Scarlet Witch get Hulk to calm down in Age of Ultron?
Oh, the lullaby.
Touched his hand.
Touched his hand.
He touched
and
it.
Got all touching.
Could you say it was
Touching?
the invisible touch?
Oh,
Ooh.
I like.
We're in the 80s.
I'm all. That's okay. That's all right. Can we talk about not Wesley, also known as Edgar, also known as Christian Bale in American Psycho to a T?
I'm surprised he didn't say, do you like Huey Lewis in the News?
Yeah. Oh my God. You're not really a blonde, are you? Oh my God. It's him.
It's
him.
Hair is spot on.
The suit, the hair. It's him.
If we're going to talk about Wesley, I think we also need to talk about Fisk's office.
Oh, the Trumpian office.
Alan, what do
Gold
you think of the
elevator
office?
doors.
So apparently his desk is about 13 feet high.
That's not an exaggeration either, folks.
That's for real. He's got to take steps down.
And he's kind of like, he's sitting in a chair that was like Inspector Gadget's Dr. Claw chair. He pressed the button and goes, eee.
I'll get you next time, Gadget.
Oh, yeah. This is all true. This is all true.
I'll get you, Daredevil.
You know what's funny, though? When you think about that, yeah, he's got his desk on that huge podium. But when he walks down in front of the podium, he's got like a little couch right in front of it.
That's the casting couch.
Oh.
His whole gimmick is all this video. He is a pornographer, sir. That I submit to you.
Media mogul, kingpin of crime, pornographer.
Yes.
I buy it.
That's why he's keeping that girl around.
Was there anything redeeming about this?
No.
Was there anything?
No.
No, yeah, there was. There was something redeeming about this, sir. We have the first live-action cameo appearance of Mr. Stan Lee.
Stan! Yeah. In the jury, in the dream trial.
Dream trial. Yeah, we're jumping all around this
I know.
thing,
You know
folks.
what?
Don't expect us to go start finish on this.
Yeah.
We're just not gonna. Drew's just crinkling up the paper and
The
throwing
notes are out the window.
The notes are gone.
Forget the notes. We're just going to go here.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the jury. So in the dream sequence, we didn't know it was a dream sequence. So he transforms into the Hulk on the stand, and then everyone in the courtroom saw this guy, this little itty bitty David Banner guy, transform into giant Hulk, and they're all just sitting there,
mouth agape,
no one doing anything, not running, not scared. Hulk tears up the bench.
Hulk make hung jury.
Hulk throws one of the guards. He goes over to the jury box and lifts it off the ground. Stan Lee had a stunt double, by the way. He insisted on doing his own stunts, but they wouldn't let him.
Thank you, IMDb.
And all the while, everyone's just sitting and watching. The security guards don't draw guns. They're just like, hey!
Pepper spray and batons. That's how you take on the Hulk.
But I guess it doesn't matter because it was a dream. But still, we were watching it not knowing that, and I was just like, what is happening right now?
You think they'd be running and panicking?
Yeah.
And they're just chill. They're like, oh, he turned.
So
Turned green.
fascinating.
That's fascinating.
Oh, my God. Stan, though.
Stan.
Same hairpiece for the last 40 years.
Looking as young as a person that old can look at that time. Because he had to be in his 60s at that time.
I think he was in his early 60s.
What year did the movie come out?
1989.
89? That's almost 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And Stan is 93.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah. Stan was 63 then.
Keep your damn hands off Stan Lee 2016.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I cannot have it. If God forbid it happens.
Well, I mean, let's be
I know,
honest.
but
It's not a matter of if.
Yeah.
I
don't want to think of.
Let's continue to make fun of this movie, please.
Yes.
So
what else we got?
I mean, I don't know, man.
So we got
Drew has gone bye-bye, Alan.
Yeah.
What do you have for us?
So let's go to the final confrontation.
Oh, the boat! We got to get to the boat.
Yes.
Skyboat.
Skyboat.
This thing was straight out G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Here's what I like about this. Sorry, I'm just going off today. I can't help it. I'm all fired up over this. So we get into the final fight sequence, or the final confrontation, right?
The final fight.
Daredevil busts through a styrofoam wall,
Yep.
and the crime boss guys all get beat up by Daredevil, or something.
Or they scatter.
They scatter, whatever. Daredevil beats up the leather-clad henchman.
Pleather.
Pleather.
Pleather was not in the budget.
With their full-on 80 shoulder pad look going on. Hulk helps out and does some damage. Does he? Right? Yeah, Hulk is there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he changed a little bit.
Yeah, he changes back and okay. Daredevil chases Kingpin outside. Daredevil is foiled by a door.
Not a door, a wall.
No.
The wall collapses.
No. But Kingpin goes in the door closes. Matt doesn't even attempt to open it. He just goes, no! Foiled again!
Curse you, door.
Of course, Matt's only weakness, doors. then the walls of the container open.
The
Whatever.
walls of Jericho come down.
And then the Kingpin, I thought it was a helicopter. No. It was a full-on G.I. Joe vehicle.
Skyboat.
And it takes off at the slowest speed possible while Matt stands there while he could have jumped on it
Yep.
and apprehended the pilot and Kingpin in less than 30 seconds. He stands there like a dork with his shaking his fist at it like old man yells at cloud.
I'll get you crazy kids.
Yeah. And then the skyboat takes off, and some terrible... all the money went to this shot.
Yeah.
All of the money
Yeah.
went to this horrible toy composited against stock footage of a city.
Yeah. So to describe what this boat looks like, think of like a police boat, one of the smaller police boats. These. You know what? Here's how I describe it. Remember that movie with Bruce Willis and Sarah Jessica Parker?
You know what?
I think it was
Yes.
called Striking Distance.
That's the one.
That's the type of
It's
boat.
so sad that we know that.
Yes, it is. Alan's just keeping quiet on that. He's like, I'm not going to admit I know that shit. What are you talking about? So, no, it's like these boats that police use on the water, they're not like Coast Guard cutters or anything. They're smaller, like 2-3 person boats.
Yeah.
So think of that for the base. Then just put like the biggest, gaudiest spoiler
Got a
you
big
saw
spoiler.
from Fast and Furious on it.
Yeah.
And there's a jet engine on the spoiler.
And some fake smoke.
Now,
And it goes like 3 miles an hour.
I am by no means a scientist. Alan, you're a teacher,
Yes, I am.
so maybe you can help me out.
An
on
educator.
this. you educate the minds of the young, and we appreciate your service. But I need your help here.
Okay.
Explain to me the physics of how this boat was A, able to take off, B, sustain flight. Because it had no wings.
Yeah, I was about to say it had no wings and it was just rising, very slowly.
Yeah.
And
how'd it work?
I have no. Well, for the record, I'm not a science teacher. I'm a Spanish teacher, but
You are closer to being a scientist than I am.
but the physics doesn't make any sense.
I would say it's Hollywood magic, but this was not
No,
filmed in
this-
Hollywood.
Yeah, this.
This is some Saskatchewan magic.
I legitimately saw better visual effects in the bootleg Fantastic Four Roger Corman movie.
It's possible. It had a CGI Human Torch.
No, it wasn't CGI. It was
No.
animated.
Oh,
It was straight up cartoon.
wow.
As soon as he flamed on, he was a cartoon.
Okay.
Yep.
Anyway,
So yeah, Skyboat.
Skyboat.
Wilson Fisk escapes.
because they were setting up that sequel.
Yes. I think one of the funniest lines of the night came from Drew, where he just looks at us in the movie's ending. He's like, post-credit scene? Stinger? I was like, yeah.
We didn't get one.
The guy who played Spider-Man in the live-action television series is going to come and show up.
Well, I remember David Hasselhoff can show up as Nick Fury at the end and ask David Banner if he's heard of the Avengers Initiative.
Captain America can show up with a see-through shield.
Wow.
So that, for better or worse,
Yeah.
and believe me, it is worse.
Yeah. You know what? Okay. We've had fun here.
We have had a lot of fun.
I
we
will
accomplished what
say-
we set out to do.
As poor as this movie is, it's not offensively poor. It's just poor.
Yeah.
Whereas
This isn't like Batman and Robin.
I was going to say Batman and Robin, on the other hand,
That's a tragedy.
That is offensively poor.
Yeah.
Money went into that. No money went into this. I mean, shoestring budget.
Well, it was also directed
weren't in the
and
budget.
executive produced by Bill Bixby.
Yeah, we won't hold it against poor Bill.
Well, I think from what I remember, Bixby directed a lot of the television episodes too. And after Incredible Hulk ended, before he passed away, unfortunately, he was a sitcom television show director. He directed fairly regularly on a lot of shows that aired throughout the 90s.
Question.
Yes.
Take it or leave it. Do you think they played the Sad Hulk music at Bill Bixby's funeral?
Oh. I think they did.
I mean, they kind of had to, right?
Yeah, I
As
mean,
the coffin's going down.
Yes.
do, do, do,
They prop his hand up with a thumb out. No, I
so
kid.
sad.
I kid.
But yeah, this was an experience. This was an experience.
That is the first live action Daredevil, everybody.
Yep. I wonder if
soak
it's
it
the
in.
first. Did Daredevil appear in any cartoons, like the earlier on cartoons?
Yes, I remember.
I remember he appered in the Spider-Man cartoon.
But that was in the 90s.
Yeah, that was the 90s one.
90s.
Yep.
The only one he could have prior would have been what the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Yeah.
No, and there's no way he showed up in that, right?
No.
No.
Couldn't have.
Yeah, so this is probably the first, just like out of comics.
We could probably look this up. We probably should have.
Probably we do each have access to the internets on our person right now. So
Or we could just wait and do another episode if we discover something. So. Content
Trial
is
of the
king.
Incredible Hulk, the director's cut.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
All right, gentlemen, any last thoughts before we wrap up this episode?
I'm good. I'm all good here.
I'm good. I thought this was a great experience.
We appreciate having you on. We are going to bring you back. You know what? Since you didn't mail in any questions, did you have any questions for us?
Not that I can think of right now.
All right. Dynamite
All right.
drop in, Alan.
Remember, watch Luke Cage, everybody.
Yeah.
Yes. Watch Luke Cage.
Oh, I forgot to tell you.
What's up?
Black media is all over this, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, like from Jet Magazine, Essence, they're all like, holy crap, But,
Good.
It's good news, especially what's going on in the Black community. It was having something good and uplifting.
I think what we're going to try to do next week, and we're definitely going to have you back for this. I'm also going to try and get someone else either next week or the week after. We're going to try and get a little serious on the show.
Uh-oh.
We're going to talk about, because we mentioned earlier kind of the social climate of the country today. Comics used to be a real big part of having a voice in social change. Back in the 60s and 70s and early 80s, they were very active in kind of being another outlet for calling out social injustices and social change. And I'd like to do a show where we're going to talk about that history and also how comics today, particularly from the big two, just aren't really doing that anymore. So we're going to see that's possibly a preview for next week, if not the week after. But before then, if you have any questions for us, if you have any suggestions for a fun one-off show we'd like to do, you can reach us at Devil's Due Pod on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook at The Devil's Due Pod or Facebook.com/Devil's Due Pod. You can email us at thedevilsduepod@gmail.com, or as we mentioned earlier, we now have a fully functioning website up and running where you can find all this information. It's at thedevilsduepodcast.com. Thank you very much for being here, Alan.
Thank
We
you guys so
appreciate it.
much.
We're going to have you back, definitely. Drew, any last thoughts?
My fellow Buffalonians, if you've ever felt down
Like your
about
city is small.
your city, watch this movie and feel better. We're doing good. We're on the rise, baby.
Wilson Fisk, the king of a one-horse town.
Yeah, basically that. Yep.
All right, that brings this episode of Devil's Due to a close. Court is adjourned.